Welcome back to The Truth with Trinity, and I am your host, Trinity. If this is your first time tuning into the podcast, I wanted to shout out a warm welcome. Here I talk about issues that happen within the black community, some type of resolution or food for thought to go about your daily way. So I wanted to jump right in, as always, to the topic of discussion, which is racism is a crime, and crime is only for blacks. But the word blacks was not used, it was the N word, and we all know what the N word is, okay? So, I remember maybe, I don't know, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm just really adventurous, okay? So, I was on the KKK website. And then, so I went from the KKK website, which is the, Ku Klux Klan's website. And then, I start looking up images. And one of the images said what the topic is, which is racism is a crime and crime is only for N, the derogatory term for ignorance. But, of course, by them being the Klanmen, they're referencing to blacks. Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get into that a little deeper, okay? So, um, for a long time, and I'm sure you for a long time wonder, like, hey, why do cops get off scot free, regardless of it being a preponderance of evidence stacked against them? Why do teachers get to, belittle our children in school? Why can, majority of Caucasians in this country do horrific things to black people and it's on, like, falls on deaf ears, right? And then you have, the Equal Employment or Equal Opportunity Council. You've got, what else do we have? Oh, what's that? The NAACP. You've got all these places where you can file complaints, for acts of discrimination. You've got, all sorts of employee rights and what you have, what's that, affirmative action, which says they have to, hire a certain amount of black people. You've got all these um, places where you can file for discrimination. And then you put in the application, you make your complaint or your grievance, and then majority of the time it comes back what? Well, usually it comes back and says there's no evidence found of any bias or any prejudice. And then, you look on the news and, you're like, well, this, cop, shot this, black man or woman, with not even a weapon in its hand. And then, there was something on the news about a white club owner or bar owner who ran over a cop. He ran into a cop with his car and he's still alive to tell about it. And they'll deem someone like that mentally ill. So he had some type of mental disturbance as to why he did that. And then, for a black person in America, you sneeze the wrong way and you're dead. So let's get into that. And I made a topic about this because that's very interesting. Racism is a crime and crime is only for blacks. Because that would explain why, um, things like, injustices can happen and nothing is done about it, especially when it, pertains to a white person assaulting or murdering a black person. Okay. And I want to talk about what it kind of meant to me to hear that, to see that. It wasn't a hear. It wasn't like verbal. It was, like some type of poster posted, in regards to that. To me, that symbolizes, well, when you look at crime, so let's look at the first part. Racism is a crime. So, racism is like hating someone because of, the color of their skin, their ethnicity, right? And then you look at crime. Crime is illegal, is an illegal action that is punished through the court systems, right? So we've got that part down pat. And then so you got racism is a crime and crime is only for ends. So that means what I took from it is, you know, as a white person in this country, you can do whatever you want to someone that's non-white and especially black, and it's not considered a crime because they're saying crime is only for ends. And I know that's just a poster that has been placed out there online, which you can type the words in yourself and you'll definitely see the poster on Google. But that hit home because, you know, that's a way of them saying, you're basically almost helpless to defend yourself in this country. And I believe that it was put in place to exert power and control and to protect the rights of Caucasians in this country, because you know they can inflict any type of violence or any prejudice, undertones in speech, and just flat out murder, and they're protected by the law. And then you have to look at who the judges are in this country. And I was looking back on the Supreme Court. We have a couple of biracial and you know um, non-white people on the judges council now. But I looked at the original 9 members and they were all white men. So what does that tell you? What kind of justice for who is being served? Okay, so it almost leaves us in a point to where it's very difficult for us to protect ourselves in this country, with such ideology in place. Because I want to say I believe it's so they can assert their power of oppression. So like, hey, I can do whatever I want to you. It's not considered a crime, but if you do it, it's definitely considered a crime. Okay, so I put this out here to inform, a lot of our brothers and sisters. We keep asking for justice and, why isn't this happening? Why is this cop getting off? Why, you know, are they able to conduct themselves with no repercussions? Um, it's because those type of ideologies exist. Racism is a crime and crime is only for ends. Crime is only for us. I mean, I just find that pretty fascinating. And then they'll gaslight us and say, hey, that's nonsense. They get upset, if you try to bring it up. The reason why they get upset is because it's the truth. There are no protections in place for us, and they consider us Americans, I think, only to silence us. But when it really boils down to it, the rights and protections only refer to people who are Caucasian in this country. So the best thing we can do is, I always say it, just get our own, get out of here. Like, we need to get out of this country. I don't know, but it's been a pleasure talking, with you all. I would like to know what you all think about it, with the whole slogan, racism is a crime and crime is only for blacks. Okay. You can reach me at thetruthwithtrinity@gmail.com. I'm also on YouTube under the same name. It's been a pleasure talking with you all. Peace and blessings.